Start with a Fox News alert. Donald Trump is out. The debate stage now set for tomorrow night's Fox News debate, but the Republican frontrunner will not be in the center square.
The boycott coming just days before the first votes at the Iowa caucuses.
Let's look at back.
Fox News correspondent John Roberts is live in Des Moines, Iowa. How do I know that? Because I heard him talking when I was talking. Hi, John.
Sorry about that, Brian. Just a little bit of a communication problem there. Good morning, Brian, Steve, and Anna. You know, several times in the past, Donald Trump has threatened to boycott debates. Once it was over money, another time it was over the length of the debate. But in the end, he always appeared. But last night, his campaign said that Donald Trump is pulling the plug on his center stage appearance here at the Des Moines Auditorium. The reason why? He didn't like the way Fox News was treating him. Listen.
They can't toy with me like they toy with everybody else. So let them have their debate. And let's see how they do with the ratings.
Not long after he made the announcement, here's what Fox News said in an official statement, quote, "We're not sure how Iowans are going to feel about him walking away from them at the last minute, but it should be clear to the American public by now that this is rooted in one thing. Megyn Kelly, whom he has viciously attacked since August and has now spent 4 days demanding be removed from the debate stage." For her part, in her show last night, Megyn said she's looking forward to tomorrow night's debate.
I'll be there. Brett's already there. I think Wallace is coming today. I'm not sure, but the debate will go on with or without Mr. Trump.
And here's where it could become a political problem for Donald Trump. He's in a neck-and-neck race with Ted Cruz. That Quinnipiac poll showed him with just a 3-point lead. He's handing Ted Cruz tomorrow night at the auditorium basically an unimpeded megaphone with which to bang Donald Trump with, and also handing him a huge cornstalk with which to beat him with on the campaign trail between now and the caucuses on Monday. Here's Cruz.
Look. If he doesn't accept, he's telling the men and women of Iowa he's not willing to defend his record. He can't defend his record. He's admitting that he cannot stand the scrutiny, and that means he's not up to the job of being commander-in-chief. Anyone scared of Megyn Kelly is not going to be able to stand up to Hillary Clinton or Vladimir Putin, and we need a strong, principled, conservative president.
Now, Donald Trump says instead of appearing at the debate tomorrow night, he's going to hold a fundraiser for veterans and wounded warriors, which, of course, is a very noble thing to do. It's not unprecedented for a politician to skip a debate before the Iowa caucuses. Ronald Reagan did it back in 1980. He didn't think Iowa was very important. He ended up losing Iowa to George H.W. Bush. But in the overall, he won the nomination. So maybe Donald Trump is looking at that little piece of history and saying, you know, it doesn't matter if I'm here tomorrow night or not. But he's still got time. He could always show up at the last minute. Brian, Steve, Anna?
The podium will be there.
All right, John Roberts, thank you very much. One of the, as you look at the politics of it, as John Roberts just pointed out, he won't be on the stage. Then again, he won't be head-to-head with Ted Cruz and everybody else who's going to try to beat up Donald Trump just, you know, a couple of days before the Iowa caucuses. In the long run, that could be good for Donald Trump.
I mean, if you believe in the Ted Williams theory, he got over 400 and sat the last few games of his with the Red Sox. He also homered in his last at bat, but then decided to sit down because he wanted it to end the way it ended. If Donald Trump wants your last image to be his last debate or his last appearance or his last interview, if he thinks that'll help win it, but it goes against the narrative that he's tough, takes on all comers, and doesn't want any preconditions. To me, this goes against the toughness persona that he's put forward.
Yeah, he's been putting that forward from the very beginning, and you know, it gives an open door for Senator Ted Cruz to name call and call him Ducking Donald and say, you know what, if you're scared of Fox News and you're scared of Megyn Kelly, then take me on one-on-one in a town hall style debate, and that's what he's doing. He's challenged him to that. We have Senator Cruz's father coming up on the program later. We'll ask him.
Well, keep in mind, Donald Trump in the past has tried to negotiate the debate parameters before. Remember, he teamed up with Ben Carson before the CNBC debate, and it was going to be something like 15 hours long, and eventually they whittled it down to 2. He also complained about the anti-Trump tone at the Union Leader, the big newspaper in New Hampshire. And they got axed as a debate partner, just as NBC got axed. So there is, listen, there's some political upside, there's political downside. Mark Thiessen, who was once a speechwriter for George W. Bush, says he's got some problems with Trump doing this. Watch.
He's run a very smart campaign up until now, and this is his first major misstep. And the reason is quite simply because he looks like a big baby. His whole premise of his campaign is that he's tougher than all the other candidates out there, Democrats and Republicans alike. A few months ago, when Bernie Sanders had Black Lives Matter protesters come and push him off the debate stage, he said, how can Bernie Sanders fight ISIS if he can't handle Black Lives Matter? Well, how can Donald Trump defeat ISIS if he can't handle a few tough questions from Fox News? Running from a fight is not a New York value.
He did get Jerry Falwell Jr.'s endorsement yesterday, and Joe Arpaio, the famous sheriff that's tough on immigration, illegal immigration. Also on the other side, a big endorsement, one from Tony Perkins to Ted Cruz, who runs a very significant Christian evangelical organization. Meanwhile, Charles Krauthammer was on last night, special report, had to digest this instant information that Donald Trump looks like he'll back down. Listen to what he says.
The genius of a reality TV show is that it has to be constantly changing. You can't have the same storyline week after week or the show dies. He kept his going for 14 years. He keeps changing the story. When he makes an outrageous statement and then he's waiting for incoming, he makes another outrageous statement so that all the attention is focused on the second. He's used that, I think, again, brilliantly for 6 months to maneuver himself at the top.
Well, and he's dominating the news headlines, as he's been doing basically since the summer, and stealing the news cycle from the other contenders. Who are we talking about?